let's get you another corporate conversation. So India is one of the markets with the most opportunities in the next decade. That's the word from DHL e-commerce's CEO, Pablo Ciano. In fact, while speaking with my colleague Vamakshi, the CEO also went on to say that India stands in the top 15 geographies in terms of revenues for the group. Listen in.
We see India as one of the markets with the most opportunity in the next decade. We have been in this market for many, many years, but what we are seeing recently in terms of, first, the benefits of the migration and the diversification of supply chains out of China into other markets. India, together with Mexico, Vietnam, Turkey, is one of the key markets benefiting from that. And we see every single day more of our global customers opening operations in India. We have seen, of course, a lot of manufacturing moving away from China into India, and we see that continuously. We see that to continue. So there is a lot of good momentum in India, both from an import and export perspective, and from a domestic perspective, the entire improvement in infrastructure, roads and airports is helping optimize logistics. We're seeing more and more of the logistics moving from informal ways of logistics to more formal with companies like DHL and Blue Dart. And the entire investment in infrastructure that the government is promoting is helping with a lot of that. Roads are getting better and better. It is much easier to connect now distant cities and tier 2 and tier 3 cities, which is helping overall reduce the cost of logistics, make it more affordable and therefore more efficient for companies.
So you see huge potential in India, got that. So are you looking at expanding your operations here?
Yes, we have. We have recently announced in one of the DHL Group divisions, DHL Supply Chain, we have announced a 250 million investment to expand our fulfillment capabilities and contract logistics in India for the next 5 years. We are also in the process of expanding within Blue Dart, our domestic operations, also with a similar type of investment. We have expanded our air capacity. Last year, we added 2 additional 737 freighters for India, for Blue Dart air network. So now we have 8 in total. And we are expanding our ground and surface infrastructure as well. We're going to be opening 10 major metropolitan hubs in the next 3 years. And we are expanding all our ground capabilities as well. So a lot of investment going on in India from a group, DHL Group perspective, as well as Blue Dart perspective.
Like you mentioned, you are increasing your investments in India. So obviously there must be a certain growth potential that you see here. So could you quantify that for us?
Absolutely. So from a group perspective, we believe that India is going to be one of the fastest growing countries for the next 5 years. Today, India is top 15 in terms of revenue for the group. As a group, and we believe that in the next 5 years is going to be at a minimum top 10 and above. And there's a lot of investment, as I was mentioning before, not only domestic, but also, again, imports and exports. We are aiming for a very aggressive growth plan in India from a Blue Dart perspective, where we are planning to go faster than the market. Our market in the markets where we operate is going to be growing around 10 to 12%. We are planning to grow faster than the market for the next 5 years, and we are investing accordingly.
Sure. So, if I look at the data, since 2020, Blue Dart Express has grown at a CAGR of 14%, and this is the top line that I'm talking about. So, will the growth be much better than this, is what you're saying?
The growth is going to be slightly better. We need to remember that in that CAGR, we had a very unique situation, which was COVID, which, of course, required a very special type of logistic capabilities for many companies. But we are confident that between the growth that we are already experiencing and that we are going to see very likely accelerating in e-commerce, logistics for e-commerce, as well as the great positioning that we have in the B2B segments in life science, healthcare, automotive, in particular for the air network, and also the cross-border, India becoming an exporter of e-commerce and exporter of finished goods. All of those are very important sources of growth. That's why we are confident that we're going to see either similar growth to the CAGR that you have been referring to, or slightly better.
But what about the competition that is coming from quick or rapid commerce? Because that is seeing tremendous momentum here in India. So would just like to understand from you, is it eating away into some of your e-commerce deliveries? And what is your strategy with respect to tackling this new business model that has emerged?
Absolutely, great question. Quick commerce plays in a little bit of a different category compared to where we operate. So a big retailer from global companies like Inditex to smaller garment companies like Snitch, which is, a new and upcoming very trendy brand who I visited a few days ago. They need to rely on an efficient logistics partner that has the ability to receive thousands of shipments in a centralized location and be able to distribute them around India in as fast as possible in the most affordable way. And that is a very different business model compared to what the quick commerce is working on. Quick commerce will satisfy a certain percentage of the consumer needs, but the majority of the market is going to remain in the other type of logistics requirements that I was referring to.
Well, some very interesting comments and very strong commentary, especially as far as the Indian market is concerned, from Blue Dart as well as the DHL CEO. But that's all the time we have on this edition of Mid Cap Radar Mutual Fund Corner. When we return.